What's up guys, it's Alex Rome here, and today we're going to do the Black Coast Trendsetter Lucian remix. I think that's how you say it, Lucian. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, a lot of you have been requesting this video, so I'm really excited to get it out for you. I am still trying to do every suggestion on that marshmallow video that I did a little bit ago. Because there's like 40 something suggestions there now, but that doesn't mean you should go to that video and suggest any more videos for the future. Put suggestions on this video, please, and I am trying to get to every single suggestion because I really want to do that for you guys. So the Trendsetter remix right here, let me play it and then we're going to go through it and I'll talk to you about it and show you how to make it. So that's the first part of it, but I wasn't ready to go to the second part. Okay, let's go to the second part. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so just a little thing about why there's extra noises in here that are unnecessary. This is an old project of mine. Well, it's not an old project. It's actually fairly new, but I just switched the notes around for the purpose of this tutorial. So, these chords, probably the main reason everybody wants to learn how to make this, because in my private mentor sessions, I have a lot of people asking how to make the chords, and I understand they are like pretty freaking cool to listen to. Those glitchy, like those whatever they are. But yeah, we have to figure out how to make those. So I couldn't make these with alchemy. I'm sorry about that. You can make them with alchemy. I'm not familiar with alchemy enough to have gone ahead and made chords that sound like that. So I had to use Sylenth to do this, but everything's the same. You can use a wide array of synths to make this sound because they're actually quite they're not that hard to make these kind of glitchy chords. So the first one we're going to learn how to make is this one. This chord looks like this. Like that. By the way, I know there was no bass under that. I forgot the bass, but that's beside the point really, I think. So let us go ahead and start shaping this sound. Start sound designing. Destination right now. So let's go to menu, preset, insert. This is the bass sound for any synth, and what we want to do is we want to make it a 3-octave synth because with all saw waves, because that is what I believe he used. It sounds like he may have had a square wave as one of his layers, but I don't really care to use a square wave today, so I'm going to use a saw wave. This is not what waveform did he use. It's more about the modulation, so I'm going to really stick to that. So now we get something like that. Mind you, I do have this EQ'd over here to look like this because there's a big mess down here that I wanted to tighten up a little bit. So now that we have that, we need to make it kind of like a wobble, and to make it a wobble we need to go ahead, add a low pass to both sides, part A and part B, because we have a 3-octave synth. We have to make this wobble, so let's do that. We should be at this point something that sounds like that after we go ahead and add our low pass filters. So next thing we need to do is we can either make it bend up or wobble. So I'm going to make the wobble first. Then we got to make it bend up. So to make a wobble, we need to modulate the cutoff A and B. And we need to make the strength of this rather hard and the gain, again, rather hard. I found the best speed for this one is around 1/4 D. Sounds something like that. So that, with that, you can really do 150 million different things to try to arrive at the same exact sound as in the original, as far as you know, EQing and compression goes. But I'm going to continue on with the modulation, because that's the part that I really want to focus on. So he may have done something like that, but then he did this other thing where it kind of pitches up. And this is so fun. This part of it is so much fun to do. Do something like that. You add pitch A and B. Oops, not phase A. Pitch A and B to this modulation envelope. And we're actually going to put the strength of it to the left just a tad. You only want to do it like a little tiny bit. And then we need to put the decay up like that. So then it like pitches up. Like, how awesome is that? So let's go without it. Alright, it's kind of cool, but then we can throw this in. Sounds totally awesome. Awesome sound. So that's the first chord. That's what may have been done with the first chord. Not sure what plugin he used, but that's how you can use Sylenth to do that. That's the chord you couldn't do with Alchemy. But the one you can do with Alchemy that I still didn't do with Alchemy, I did it with Sylenth, is this chord. That one. The coolest part about this song. And it's quite easy to do. Let's go ahead and get us a new software instrument. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste this here without the automation. So these are the chords, again, that I feel may have been used in the song. Nice fancy chords. I'm going to go ahead with Leonard Digital as some Sylenth one here. And then I'm going to insert, and let's make these. So with these chords, I'm going to do the same exact thing as far as waveforms. Just add a bunch of sols at 3 different octaves. Something like this, and then we'll get a sound like this. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and set up these low pass filters. Now for these, no need to go ahead with the pitch modulation. All we need to do is set this up, but there's a different step in here that I'll show you guys. We're going to get it set up like this. So it just looks like that, but here's what we need to do that's different. And this is the most important part. You see this sync here? This, every single synthesizer that you use has a sync option. That means it's synced with the beat. I don't know if hardware synths actually have this, but when I say every synth, I mean every software synth has this sync option. And if it doesn't, it's I would say it's not up to date, but it may be up to date. It's probably just a lower grade synth. But go ahead and hit that sync button. That sync button could be anywhere on any LFO. It really could be anywhere, but you just don't want it to sync with the beat. That's what, and the reason for this is so our rate knob can be in hertz. So if you look at this hertz right here, we can pretty much have a smooth modulation all the way through. Whereas when you have this, it'll be very like glitchy and it won't sound good, as you can see, because it's synced with the beat. So look kind of up in that area, you can see it's like synced with the beat. But let's turn sync off because we want complete freedom over the rate knob. So how do we make these sound cool? Because now we have this like that. That sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie, but we can make it sound a little bit cooler. Go to LFO1 rate. And here is what's going to give us a really cool sound. And you can really mess around with it. You can do whatever you want. You can start high, go low, go back to high again, or you could go high to like nothing. You could do so much stuff with this modulation technique here. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Pretty fucking awesome, isn't it? I think it's pretty awesome. Well, then we go over here and then we do the second one. And let's get a little bit of bend action on this. And let's click play. Oh, that was a little high. See, when you go too high, you get some mess like this. I mean, it's pretty cool no matter what, but it could be a mess. Yeah, that's a mess. Let's go down. Pretty cool. Let's go down a little lower. You know, you could do a bunch of stuff. But, you know, the point of this video, that is how he modulated the synths in that drop. There's no other way to it. There really isn't. You can use a third-party filter and do the same modulation technique, but that is how that part was done. There's no other way. If people try to tell you otherwise, they're wrong, because that's how to do it. So there was one more chord up here. I really didn't want to say anything about it because I didn't feel like doing it because it's just so boring, you know. It's not much to this one. That one. If you see this, what's making that happen is I'm modulating this master cutoff knob to make it do that. And I turned the gain of the LFO off because this is the same sound that we actually made that first wobble with. It sounds like this. Yeah. So that is how you can mess around with that modulation. Really cool techniques there. You can really do anything that you want with. And there you go, guys. I hope I was able to be beneficial to you. And until next time, my name's Alex Rome. Subscribe to me and stay tuned for more awesome stuff.